guy. Parents. Hello, Bruno. Discord leak? Uh, yeah, I have servers like my server, Raising Puyo, Noise server, Puyo League server, Japanese discussion server. Like, wow, I can't believe my Discord is being leaked. What is going on in here? Oh, right, that's probably because I, it's probably because um, what was I saying? Uh, started streaming. They have like a bot that like says, "Hey, this person's streaming." But yeah, lots of cool stuff. 30 minutes or so today, gonna miss stream. Dang! I'm always excited to have you around, Bruno, because you offer a lot of like good comments. Yeah, absolutely, Bruno. Like, well, I mean, I could just say that like you have a generally nice presence, but maybe I'll just say that anyway, because it's true. But yeah, it always like feels pretty useful to have you around to comment on like little things. Oh, even if it's not like competitive exactly, like I mean, and also because the topics we're discussing, right? Like, well, this is just a very generalized thing. Um, and what we're working on today in the fourth tutorial here is second floor transition, building stairs transition. This is this is what I'm going to be working on alongside this discussion. It's interesting. I was going to just do this anyway, but this conversation started like popping up in chat, and I was like, this could be interesting to comment on. What the heck? Thank you, somebody. Hold on, just give me a moment. I gotta click back. Um, just give me a moment. I appreciate the message. Oh, absolutely, Brenner. Just everything is best useful to get insight on what people think, even if they aren't experts, especially if they aren't experts, though. Here's the thing, right? This is not just between us, like, you know, us at the top, right? And I mean, this is the why I run the Puyo tutorial, like, sessions the way I do. It's more useful if we get insight from people of all sorts of skill levels and from all sorts of parts of the community, whether you're like an active member or not. And like if you're not an active member and you want to be, then like what's holding you back, right? Is it because we're not doing a good job? Because you should tell us what we're doing wrong. Legro, thank you for the bits, much appreciated. Thank you. Hi, it's been a little while. I hope you're well. Oh my gosh. Long time no see, indeed. Thank you for the 3-month sub. Much love. Sending lots of squishy love over. Thank you. Um. Okay, what was I saying? Okay, this conversation seems to have slowed down a little bit, but for anyone who wasn't around, I'll like run through and kind of talk about what we've been going on about. So the discussion was initially about running a league, right? Someone brought it up here somewhere. Anyway, it came up, right? And it's like, well, people aren't committed to leagues because they're not committed. Like, they don't have incentive, they don't have reason to play in leagues. What's the point in playing like a month-long event when you could just show up to like a single tournament and get like as good of an experience anyway? So we've been talking this through. This is about production stuff and coverage, which is difficult. I see Sophie brings up a big point here about mindset, which is very important. Um, yeah, like it's just about the general mindset in the West needs to change, right? And that's pretty big. The bigger community figureheads just talk down on themselves because how they act influences how younger players will act, and that's very important that people that are like have that voice. I can't think of many people who have that voice in the Western community right now, and this is what I want to change. I want people to be aware that there are more people around um, who are doing good things, right? People just don't know. They barely know that events are happening, right? So how can they know anyone who's streaming such events? Had some ideas for that? Oh, go for it, then. Like, just shoot anything you want at me. Um, and again, if you want to hop into chat, just let me know. But, like, I'm happy with you typing as well. It was just, I wanted to be able to talk. So, this is talking about ranking systems, which is difficult, though. Um, here's the thing as well. They also complain a lot, especially about games being RNG, or they put blame on other things. Here's the thing, like, Puyo is a difficult game. There's so much that can go wrong, but like so much of it is just a blanket of like this seems like a very RNG game, like, and especially to the general public. Things like this just aren't very well defined in the community, and you know my tutorials are going to try and help solve that, right? People get over the hurdle, but in general, we want people to just be able to watch and see that it's not RNG, right? Like we want it's a show don't tell sort of thing where like we don't have to specifically, like, this tutorial shouldn't be the only thing that goes towards it, because it wouldn't work, right? You need people who are committed in listening the whole way through these tutorials to figure that out. But, like, people don't always have that time commit. They might just come along for cool events like this, right? And it needs to be evident that, like, there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes, and there's a lot more to think about than just, like, here's another thing. This is a one that, like, people don't, you probably don't hear about. Okay, so, you know, there's me with, like, GTR, me and GTR is bad, sort of thing. Um, Here's another one. Observation isn't as important as people think. At the level that they're speaking of, observation is too broad. You can't like develop observation unless you're at a position where it suits your level of play. And I don't mean to say that like people like you're bad and you shouldn't observe. What I'm saying is it's not useful yet. And so people put too much emphasis on it. But here's the thing. Observation is very difficult to measure, right? Part of developing good goals is to make measurable goals. Because otherwise you're never going to see improvement, and then you see it die out, and then you're like, I'm never getting good at observation. And here's the problem, right? So like, at a lower level, I think it's useful to know certain things about observation, such as watch during the first 10 seconds of the game to check if someone is making a rush. Like, that's going to happen at every level, and if you learn that early on, like, that's one thing. And once you get into that habit of just looking in the first 5 to 10 seconds to check if they're making a rush, you, like, win so many more games. Because, like, especially against people like DDRDN, right? You literally, DDRDN, you would win, like, you would lose, like, 10% less games to his, like, silly rushes, which are perfectly valid, but people just think it's, like, crude or something, or you know, of that sort. But it's because people aren't looking for what exactly they should be observing, right? And then once you get to a certain level, it's sort of like, how do I observe? Well, here's the thing. If you're not able to autopilot like your 10 chains, then you can't observe. You're trying to force yourself to observe at a point that's too early, and it's hindering your main chaining ability. What's the point of observing if you can't build a main chain to respond to it, or a defense to respond to it? It's important to build up the skills in unison. It's not one thing at a time. You focus on one thing at a time, right? But you need to be aware of everything else that surrounds it, right? Like, if you want to be able to play mid-game, there's so much that goes into it. And I really want my tutorials to be able to bring that point across. But, like, you know, this is still early stages. I'm still only on the 4th tutorial, and I have a long way to go with it. But it is something that I think we need more discussion on so that we can actually develop this. Because, like, it's not like I know everything. I just think it's, like, the current thinking is pretty flawed, and I probably have a lot of flaws in my thinking too, but I need to hear that, and I need people to voice their thoughts on this. Anyway, so that's one thing, right? So my point here is that running a widespread league is not useful for the Western community. The Japanese community is only able to do that because they have a committed fan base, like a player base of like 500 players, for example, and they can all actually go into a league and commit themselves. Because there is an active competitive scene. Here, our competitive scene is not very active. We run like tournaments often enough, but like even if you check this Discord, like there's not much activity often. There just isn't much going on, right? And not much to hype for. And so my thought is that here's the difference with top players. Top players are committed for one reason or another. We don't know why exactly, but they're committed. They would be happy to play in a league, and they're going to play all their games out because it's a valuable experience for them. Like, if nothing else, it is a good experience for them. Because they're already like working on trying to get better at the game, so they'll take any opportunity to get better at the game. So through that, we make a big league, we put emphasis on each player, and this is my first point here, you establish the players. A big part of an esport is having players that people can look up to, or like sports, right? Any sports. There's players that people like cheering on and such for one reason or another, and they follow their stories and all that. Like, if people have idols or you know, people to draw inspiration from, it's gonna hype a lot of people up, and it'll help with the like top players feel more motivated too, right? They'll have more reason because they'll have like fans, which it's sort of like that. Maybe that's an exaggeration or something, but I think it's still perfectly valid to think that this is something that could help people for sure. More profiling, right? You deliver more good high-level content. Right now we only have these tournaments every month or 2 months or something. There's not much out there. People don't know what this game is about still. Like, I feel like this would help a lot. Yeah. and through this we want to be able to develop people's mindset through the commentary, through watching the player interactions and stuff like that. I think we can foster a lot more of a positive community if we stick to like focusing on this event in particular as like a big thing. Really good example here is Amamiya. When he qualified for the Puyo Cup, he literally ground first 100 sets against S-class Japanese players daily for a week, even though he lost a bunch every time. But he's an established player, and people were able to follow his story. It was a big deal. Like, it was super hype. Even us Western players were on it, just watching him like grind it out. It was crazy. But we don't have that much of that in the Western community yet, for the reasons that I've mentioned before. Talking about negativity, the Advent League was an example I had. That was pretty high back in the day. Discoverability is really difficult. Puyo Nexus made everything in one place because it was literally the only way to get people in one place. Nowadays, we have 5,000 Discord servers, is what I was saying. We have too many Discord servers, and we don't have a way to promote them well. As well, so they will just get lost in the fog. Yeah, like, YouTube is really good for this sort of thing, but that requires very high maintenance. That's a high maintenance task, and we don't know if there would be any reward. Twitter is the easiest option, and maybe the more more reliable in a sense, but it's question mark. Sorry, I'm taking my time with this. So I know you guys are messaging at the moment. I'll check chat in a bit. I just wanted to catch everyone up. So more active engagement. I should probably like DM people more often. And I know you guys have been talking about this in like the Rising Puyo stuff. Like Sin, you messaged a few of us to like join the tournament and stuff, and I think that's a really good thing to do. Like just reaching out to players in particular so that they can get more involved with the scene, because I think that's an important thing. But I think a lot of the reason is because we don't feel like a community. There are some of us like Sin, you, Han, you've got. I mean, I'm like half involved. Who else? Like Omega and Kazian, and like you guys are like kind of like you do stuff together, right? You kind of know each other. But a lot of people like Shiro, for example, Shiro is just like kind of out, like on the outskirts these days, and I think that's what it is. They don't feel part of the community. Like they don't feel that community aspect. They just feel like they're alone. So we need more like, you know, personal reaching out to each other, talking with each other, discussion, right? Because again, like even this discussion, this could be larger. This could have so many people involved, but it's sort of just between a select few of us at the moment. And like it's hard to get that reach, but the more we try and, you know, support each other, the more we'll get interaction. This is my stream announcement, and then okay, we have a bit of stuff. I'll check chat first. Bit easier for everyone to discuss. Gotcha. Even though Puyo is a hard game, the community is welcoming me by explaining how it works, and it's relatively easy for me at least to get insight about the game for high-level players, but insight and tips isn't enough for getting better. That's right. We need to emphasize the importance of practice, because here's the thing, you're not going to get good at the game overnight, but a lot of people feel like they should. And here's another important thing, it's sort of like expectation management in the community. A player who's new shouldn't feel like they have to improve fast, but it's also a mindset thing that's very personal. Like, a lot of people personally feel like if they don't get good at the game fast, then it's their problem, or like they feel like they've failed themselves, or that it's not worth trying and stuff. But we need to emphasize the learning. We need to make I think the learning process more friendly. We have a few resources, but then also not actively like promoted enough. I don't want to like. A lot of the time when I'm saying things like this, I'm kind of pointing at myself. And I don't want to sound like I'm being not egotistic, but like I don't want to sound selfish for it, because I don't. It's not for the sake of my own attention, but I think because I have a lot to bring to the community, and that's kind of what I'm saying. So when I'm talking about like who you should promote as like a big figurehead or something, like I think I could do. I haven't been streaming as consistently as I want to recently, but I feel like I could kind of fill that role of. I would like to think I give off pretty comfy vibes, right? Like, you know, that sort of positive vibe in the community. And the sort of insight that can be provided to players, right? I like to encourage a lot of discussion, stuff like that. What else was I gonna say on this? There's a reason I brought this up. What was I saying? Oh yes, and because I want people to know that my resources exist. Here's the thing, you know what I need to do? I need to my tutorials, right? I need to change these into old. All of these, because look at this one. Ugh. GTR tutorial, 10k. Man, like, I need to get these off the radar. Maybe I could unlist them. Like, I like keeping everything public for, like, posterity's sake, like, just to have it there. It's nice. But honestly, I think these numbers are alright. And, like, okay, first tutorial was fine, I get it. Second tutorial, maybe less so. I think the stairs one might be a big one, a big hit, if we can get it promoted well. But I feel like these do a pretty good job of explaining things, and I want people to know that these exist, right? Myself and Void and Hamburger and like you guys have put a lot of effort into these, and I feel like we need to be able to make this like a common resource. That was always my goal with it. A lot of people go to like Puyo Nexus and stuff, which are well known, which is good, but they're outdated by now, and stuff like that as well, like just stuff being outdated. Like, this is just info that kind of followed the Western community's expectations, but now I've learned a lot. Just personally, and as a community, we've learned a lot as well. So there's a lot more to add on than these. I need to like add like a thing here where it's old. That's what I usually do with like my speedruns and stuff too. Anyway, just mentions I'll like do this after I get through chat and stuff. Oh my gosh, it scrolls back. Anyway, establish Puyo's idea is very good, but how do we do this? Yeah, see, that's the big thing. It's sort of like it's difficult because not everyone wants to present themselves. And I mean that in the sense that like some people don't talk much. And I don't even mean just in like voice. So I think a cool thing to do would be to have like post-game like interview sort of things, right? Like, even if it's like 2 minutes, just saying hi and being like, how do you feel and stuff. Like, you need the players themselves to give off a personality in the first place, right? It comes through in text as well, but in tournament setting, like in if you think about like streams, right? I can broadcast the Discord chat, but like, and I could read it and stuff, but that's also not super professional, and like maybe it doesn't give off that's the same flavor as people talking. Like, face cam isn't something necessary or whatever as well. You could just throw up an avatar or whatever. But like, I feel like that's important because for the Japanese players, right, in the esports events, you have them. You see them interacting with each other. Also, Japanese streams on the players' streams, you know, like, throughout their stream, you're seeing them interact with the chat and everything, right? They have their own personalities that are very clear. So there's the production standpoint, where we're gonna make player profiles and stuff. But I think we also need the players themselves to step up, which is a bit of an ask, but I think it'll be well worth it, right? Because otherwise, people just see them as like good players, which is something, but it's not enough to attach to a player. Let me check. SKCD, yeah. Let's see. To be fair, Japanese players get a lot more exposure because literally Sega's behind them. That's true, that's true. Buffering or Yoshi? Oh, no. Okay, welcome back. So more casual non-Puyo stuff, such as game nights, which anyone could hop in, could help new or established players on the outskirts come more easily invested. I feel like that could be a good idea, but again, that's just a matter of like maintenance. It's how much can we commit ourselves to? Like, I've been so busy with uni, and I hate. It sounds like an excuse a lot of the time. I really do not like saying it, but yeah, like it has just been eating my time up. But like, if you guys are able to run these sorts of things, I feel like they do a lot. Yeah, just like breaking the ice essentially. I think that's what the thing is. It feels like everyone has a lot of professional relations. This is what this feels like right now. Like we're here as competitive players, and like that's it, sort of thing. Shira did offer to help me learn how to get into Puyo scene a lot more. Shira's like awesome. I love him. Lower plays is really difficult to stick because there's basically no community. Agree. One reason I still haven't really practiced Puyo that much is that I can't feel the improvement. I can say that I can build chains, but I don't feel like I'm winning more fights because there aren't many people around my level, so I still lose an absurd amount. It's kind of demotivating that I need to learn all the stuff in single player to be able to feel all the progress. Yeah, I think like there needs to be more collaborative effort at the top level, which will flow down to the lower level. If people see that the top level players are getting together more, because we aren't even, right? So we can't expect lower level players to do so. But there are a lot of you just don't know each other yet. And that's the problem. Because we could run practice sessions and stuff where, you get a couple of top players in a room, not literally, but in a room with lower level players, coach them, and like watch them all and like I think group sessions are a good idea. One-on-one I think is nice, but that also puts more pressure on each person. If we want it to be more casual, I think we could have these like, I would be happy to stream events where we just come together, like 4, 5, 6 of us, a couple higher level players, a couple lower level players, come together and sort of like do a help session. It could benefit a lot of people. In the Discord chat so we can get more discussion on it. Oh, whoops, what was I saying about it? If you want to recap what I'm saying, feel free to. What was I saying before? Hold on. I was talking about establishing players. Yes, okay. I can mention the establishing players. That was what I was rambling on about. I think mainly that was the big one. Point in the learning curve where you cannot get better by playing on your own, and even though I can see that playing against strong players can help your improvement, the lack of players around saying me and red skill can be demoralizing, and I can feel that absolutely. Get into fever, but my last match previously my opponent just wiped me from existence. I don't hate the game or the player, just me not being good enough. Gives us the feeling of I have to be at this level otherwise I'm going to die. And I think a lot of games can suffer from that. Like Pokemon Unite, for example, because this is a really good example, right? Like, is so welcoming because everyone is just like goofing around because no one knows what they're doing, sort of thing. But, like, there are games like... I think certain shooters can feel that way, or like MOBAs, other MOBAs would feel that way. It's very gate, but a lot of people still get into them, and it's maybe if we can figure out how those bigger games get people into them, then maybe we can apply that to Puyo. Events set on tourneys are a good idea, like the group practice sessions concept? Oh, that's okay. Group practice idea has been on my mind for some time, at least something along those lines. Right. The hardest thing is scheduling, of course, but it could just be like a casual thing as well, where like we just throw up a stream for a couple hours, like, again, if I can put some time into it, it's just tough for me because like weekend maybe, right? You run it for a couple hours, you can get people to you can ask people to come in whenever they feel like, which like a help desk, right? I'm thinking like my uni's help desk where they have like a couple hours a week where they're just there to answer people's questions, right? And it could be empty a fair amount of the time, but during that time we can still fill in the time with our own discussions and such. But like, you know, keep it casual. Keep it casual. Maybe it's get a lot of player base through friends dragging other friends into it. And even if the game is still hard and understandable, you still have to you still play to have fun with friends because winning as a team feels good and losing as a team isn't that bad. Right, I suppose there's a team aspect, but the whole friend thing is pretty important. I think you're right. Like, at the end of the day, players come in because their friends told them. That's like the heart of everything, and social media and stuff. But why, you know, after your friend looks up stuff on social media, they will tell you about it. Or you see it on social media, and you tell your friend about it, and then you both get into Puyo or whatever. Like, it's, yeah, I think the whole like word of mouth thing, or like mutual connections, do a lot. Bring back Puyo. What's the playbase that shooters can bring? Okay, yeah. That's a whole another can of worms. Big Tony's a great advertisement. Oh yes, I'd imagine that as well. Hi Shoki! Okay, let's go to the Discord chat. I apologize for my slowness, but yeah, I have a lot to say. This is why I'm streaming. The idea of the World Cup is something I've had for a little while, but I think it'd be good to do it in a slightly different way. I think it'd be good if we got some countries, free communities, form teams, have this. Yeah, I think this is a good idea too. Those are super fun. We just need to bridge that gap in the first place. Yeah, very unique, a lot of collaboration. Yeah, it's about committing stuff, format. Hybrid Sioux Fever, that sounds fun. Kensai Puyo. And if winner stays first to 2 and then a round robin rules. Yeah, that's cool. Like, this is what they did this with Australia too, actually. I don't know if anyone knew about this. Not many people knew about this, but because like only the Australian players got told, and like I probably didn't promote it that well, but yeah, it was cool. Yeah, no, we'll have to figure out another format, but it's a fun idea to get everyone involved. I.e., player profiling. Active. From players themselves. From a production standpoint. Having stuff like profiles before matches. Such is good. The key is to actually allow the players it's in much sense of personality. Otherwise, dropping by for a week. Gotta head to classes now. Hey, enjoy the classes, Shoki. Thank you for popping in. Always good to see you. One thing, reflecting on the Puyoverse days, it did feel like there was a lot of community engagement because of the chat rooms and such. I think even small things like short post-match helps a lot. Give the players a chance. We'll have competitors. Came back from work, have to go rest soon, but before I go, oh. The official Puyo game had like a lobby feature or something where a player hosts a room and when people join they take turns playing 1v1s. Something like Smash's system would be super fun. That would probably be... would I say ideal? Maybe. Maybe. I think Smash's system is really good. We have to do this ourselves, yeah. Oh, what the heck, Lego? Thank you. You really didn't have to. Gosh. I appreciate the support. Thank you. All the hugs. I didn't respond to Shocky fast enough, I don't think. That's okay. You have this. Watching a bit of typing and then they have this exact feature. Really? Yeah, I think so those are my key points, right? It was just about like getting people it means need to do a little more. Brings out the community feeling? Yeah, I getcha. Oh, Lego Cubtress? Yo, congrats! Yeah, I getcha. Um, um, alright. Cool. Just like let me know if there's some stuff that pops up here, I guess that'll be the easiest way to do it than like rather than checking it a bunch. I'll quickly do this as well. Gotta. I could probably just like do this. Part 10 was the last one, wasn't it? Tailing, yeah. It's so sad. It's not delete. As sad as I am about that, I don't think it's my top video, right? I think it's my second one. I think the FIFA match is my top video, which honestly I'm quite happy with that one. That one was a cool set. Like I'm very happy for that to be my top video. Oops. Oh my gosh. I haven't looked back on these tutorials in so long. I should probably do it sometime. How long ago was this? Does it say here? I don't think it is. It probably says on the YouTube page, but I'm not checking it. Ah! So, we have the chainsaw. And we have Puyo Tutorials Part 4. So, progress update on the tutorials. Alrighty. Catch you later, Bruno. Thanks for hanging out. Hope work goes well. This track is a bit loud. DJ mode is just a bit loud in general. So, progress update. Last you guys saw, was it like, how long ago was it? Did I work on this during the holidays? I don't. Oh, yeah, I did recording stuff in the holidays though. No, last time you guys saw like actual planning stuff was probably a couple months ago. Yeah. Group. Okay, so part 3. It is in video editing stages. Woo-woo! I got all the recording stuff done, and Void said he's free this month to do stuff. So I sent it to him. He got started on it like a couple days ago, I believe. I don't know how it's going so far, but it is with him, and he said he's free this month, which means he should like have a decent amount of time. Which, you know, which means that if all goes well, maybe by the end of this month we'll have that tutorial out, which I'm super excited about. So like, look forward to it. I'm really happy that I've finally pushed it to video editing stage. Like, there's just a lot of work that goes into, like, it goes between the recording stuff just takes a while. Recording like the voice lines and then the not the voice lines, like the voiceover and then the video stuff, and then like putting together like all the info that you need that I need to like send to Void so that he knows what to do to edit through that sort of stuff. I don't know if that makes any sense. I may be a little tired right now. Anyway, we need to figure out how to discuss transition to the second floor. Where do I start? So I like copy pasted from the previous tutorial to get us started, because I guess like I don't know what else I'm gonna say, like hi guys. No, I think hey everyone is a good. So welcome to part 4 of this Puyo tutorial series. In this video we'll be discussing how to extend stairs. What's the important thing we want to say? We'll be reaching new heights with stairs. That's dramatic. That is to say, we'll be discussing. We'll step it up. We're gonna be stepping up. High five, Tails. Oh, I think I saw a message from you earlier. Sorry, I didn't welcome you, did I? New heights with stairs. That's so cheesy. Yeah, perfectly on brand. The thing is, I was like, what do I emphasize? Do I emphasize that we're going to a new floor? No, I haven't discussed floors yet in Puyo. I shouldn't do that. I was thinking maybe like how to build further than 5 chains, but I don't know if like that makes it sound sort of like we leave off in the last video with being able to chain up to 5, but then it's sort of like I don't know if it's just saying that, oh, we could build higher than 5 is too ambiguous on its own. So if I intro with this like silly little line, say we'll be discussing how to extend stairs past 5 chains. How do I say this actually? How do you say that? Extend on. Extend on. Extend from this. If I can make reference to the previous video too, like the stairs from the previous video. Yo, what the heck, Legro? I thought you would get. Oh, what the heck? Oh my gosh, you're actually insane. Thank you so much. What the? Hello, you guys are subbed now, Riku and Chuggy. Thank you so much, really. Gosh, you're too kind. I don't know what I did, but like, thank you. Really. It means a lot to me. Ugh. How to... Aww. Thank you. We'll be discussing how to extend upon what we discussed last time. Building 5 chains stairs. That's fair enough. Have a great rest of the day. Or else. So we're going to introducing a few new concepts. Being tradition. First up, we've got a I should probably say like why first. Yeah, of flaws. Okay. We ran into what's that? Into with that was that. Oh, that sounds silly. Ugh, we'll fix up the script later on. We're just gonna get words out for now. The problem we ran into that was that the chain that the form ran us into a wall. And this is because consisted of horizontal links. As can be seen here. There's no way. Queers. Allow a keeper. So, okay, this part's probably a bit confusing, and again, like, I'm a bit tired, so I'm probably just kind of ramble thing. The form we ran us into a wall, and this is because it only consists of horizontal links. As can be seen here, there's no way to introduce a new column Puyos that will allow a key Puyo to drop beside the next link. Okay, so the what I'm trying to say here is that, like, this is your stairs chain. whatever. Yeah, sure. So the board is empty. Imagine if we use it to make our chain longer. Oh my gosh, what a concept. So the idea here, right, is that each time you're like, okay, how do I introduce a key Puyo? Right? I might expand upon this more then to like illustrate this more. But the idea behind stairs is that like you've got this setup, right? And you're making horizontal links. So you want your green to drop beside. So you shift it up. Happy times, you block it, and you're like, oh, my trigger's here now, that's fine. But then you get to this point, and you're like, yo, what's up? I want to put the red here. Okay, sure. I mean, you want the red to fall here. Okay, sure, we'll put it up here. Alright, cool. Oh no, I can't access my trigger. Actually, that's probably a better way to illustrate it, right? To refresh. It's probably a good way to refresh as well. To recap. The way we introduced... the way we links was as follows. And maybe I'll like use these diagrams in particular. Give me a set of pieces. Hold on. I need like the whole way. Sure. There we go. So we can see it. Given the setup, we want to make a new link that uses algorithms. What we can do is place a key Puyo. I don't need a comma there. What am I doing? What we can do is place a key Puyo in the column to left of this link, and to fill that. To link and fill. What we can do is place a key Puyo in the column to the left of this link. And then fill the space below. As we discussed last time, here it's to achieve this. And the end result looks like this. Horizontal vertical in part 2? Yes, that's correct. And then I put further emphasis in part 3, where I talked about stairs is just a horizontally focused form, but I want to reintroduce this just to show like the whole oh no, we're on the wall. I said this. And so following the same logic. Next extension. So following the same logic, the next extension should look something like this. Which looks all fine and dandy, but it's not. It's kind of access out there. The wall is in the way, and this is the restriction. we run into when making our chains so when making a chain so horizontally. Focused. You will always inevitably run into the wall. So what do we do? Well, first up, the idea of floors. This will help. Let's go in the next step we have to take. Okay, so how do I illustrate this? I guess maybe I will just highlight it. Oops. Okay, let's picture this. Let's go ahead and highlight. Ooh, this is really bad highlight. I guess these are not very like bright colors. Like this is not a very bright highlighter. Anyway, we'll make it better in the video. Oh. There we go. Yeah, I think it's a good thing to like not overwhelm players with being like, I'll mention it. I'll be like, here's your first floor. What we have so far is what we're going to call our first floor. This is what this is like. It's the bottom of your chain, right? And the idea is that we want to utilize the second floor to continue chaining. Now you'll notice that we have an extra division above the second floor, and that's because we can chain onto the third floor, and but like, blah. That's essentially how I want to introduce this. What did I say in the doc? Because so far I've actually done a bit of extra introduction that I wasn't going to bring in, but I think it's good to like kind of warm people up with the idea of like, this, we need to do vertical stuff. Hold on. This doesn't segue very well, so what can we do? Well, the only place... And now it's up. To do that, How do I introduce this? How to this one? This one I have to take. Notice that. Notice that our pairs takes up roughly a third of the board. This section of the board, just as the base, right? Because like we call it base, right? It's the base. Also known as the first floor. What the heck? Hi, Hamburger! Yo, hi! Oh my gosh, the one and only Hamburger. My great editor. Hi, how's it going? What have you been up to? Were you Bulu people? Was Hamburger doing Ultimate Bulu? Should just call him Hambulu Ota. I don't know, swap? Well, swap's fun. Except in speedrunning, but that's besides the point. Besides about swap. Our goal is to utilize the space above this. And in a similar fashion. We're going to call this space second floor. How long do you write on it already? Only this much, it's because the images are big. I'll probably make them smaller. But yeah, I haven't done much yet. We've been discussing like Puyo stuff. Ah, there's a bit of stuff here. We're not actually doing it, but one idea I had for a tournament was a play Puyo style skill pool tournament. Instead, at the end of each set, both players would sit down and talk through their replay in voice chat. Oh. They would sit down and talk through their... That's so cool. Ow. Shen is too strong? Who is that? I don't think I know them. Hugo told me we once did that? Really? Oh, how did it go? We're not going to for the whole rest. Since we won't use all of it. Space at the top. Top can used to... Actually, I shouldn't italicize because that's what I use for telling void stuff. I'll just like oh, do I even need to say this? I don't know if I'm rambling again. I'm tired. Second floor. No, come on, I don't need to say that. Okay. Active voice saying very nunny and then I lost. Classical 20 thus far. Nice. The second floor. You'll notice, actually they will here too. And that's... we could then use this to create a third. Well, but that's way out of scope for now. Let's focus on the immediate problem. Maybe define the unit of floor number, so scientifically correct. How should I say so? Like this part, I'm like floor is kind of an ambiguous concept, and here's the thing that they don't know yet. They don't know that this is all made up and like only applies to. I can also do this. Great, right? This is all just like a made-up fantasy where, like, this is because of S-shaped chains. Well, like, they don't know that this is only because we're doing S-shaped chains and U-shaped chains exist, but, like, shh, we don't tell them that yet. But yeah, we kind of have to dodge around this, like, this, technicality for now, and I'm, like, happy to sacrifice that, like, rigorousness. Whatever the word is, for a little bit, like for now, just to like make this concept make more sense, I guess. Is there a way to better define floors though, Hemboda, do you think? The unit of floor number. Like, how do you mean? I know in which direction you would go in definition. I'm not sure I know in which direction. Oh, yeah, no, fair enough. But you think that maybe we could more strictly define it? Maybe. In the actual video, I want him to like actually highlight this. Highlight the sections. It'll be more obvious than like drawing stuff over it. But like, anyway, that'll be for actually highlight sections on the board. It'll be good to have labels too, but I think it'll be good to have it highlighted. The fact that we're stuck on the wall. As mentioned before, is a floor. If you want to go higher, then you hit the wall and go back the other way around. You feel the same stuff again on the top of your first, thus making the second floor. Ah, okay. Right. Since we're building on top of our first floor, we can call this space. We can then call this space, right? I think, yeah, I like the idea of saying that. We're building on top of the first floor, so then we have a second floor. To build on. Oh, and folding back as well. Yeah, okay. Although they don't know that yet, right? I guess. I think it's just the Stuck on the wall. As as it stands, we could make actually build more stuff on the second. We could actually build more stuff on the second floor if we wanted to. We could just... Here's the thing, I want to use the word transition. We could actually build more stuff on the second floor if you wanted to. The problem is that, or rather, the crucial point is that we need something to link the first and second floors. This is where we talk about the transition. The shape that allows... Why is this not like... Oh, because... That's why. That's to link these floors together. Allows us to go from one floor to the next. There we go. How does that sound? You introduce the idea of U-shape and S-shape, but say that S is the way. Against the word transition, and we will not agree to the hearsay. No, transition is such a good word. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The thing is, you can like... Foldback is a Google Translate word. My heart stands foldback. Oh my gosh, foldback. Foldback is so funny. And the base has been used. Yeah, the first floor just going up to the second floor. Yes, that is what I've done. We will call it. We don't need to flip around it. We will call the space the second floor. Since we're going to be building. You'll notice it's actually over here too, and that's because you could then use the same logic to build above the second floor to create a third floor on top of. That's the way that's good for now. Let's focus on the immediate problem. The fact that we're stuck on the wall. As it stands, we could actually build some more stuff on the second floor if we wanted to. The crucial point is that we need something to link the first and second floors. This is where we talk about the transition. The shape that allows us to go from one floor to the next. I don't know if shape is a good word for this, but like the construction, the thing. Let's see. Why not just say that in order to overcome the wall, you need to get higher from that. What now? We can go up or just fold back again over our first floor. So up here, you mean? Hold on. In order to overcome, you need to get higher. The idea of the transition, okay, is to create verticality in our shape. We aren't. Let's see here. You make it more intuitive since the mention of the chance of just going higher will make them see that there is a difference between what you expect. Oh, okay, I see. So, like, I'm just saying we're going up, but we need to slope around. Okay, I understand. I understand. Um... The thing is, how do you give them the intuition of building in the other direction? Does it make sense to all of a sudden say that it will make this shape? To say that, like, it'll swing back, like you can make it swing back. Or, like, rather that if you trigger from here, it can go down and then across. Right? Like, I don't know if that makes sense to them. Because the way I'm thinking about it, if they do a second floor, like, they could just, like, make it go this way. And then, like, but then they can't go this way as well. Like, it doesn't make sense. Where do you think I should introduce it? Here? Like here? Should we... Do you think we should introduce it around here? So what do we do? The only place to go now is up. But should I say, like, up and right? Like, kind of show that we can go around. Yeah, okay. Up and away from the wall. And away from the wall. Actually, do you think that sounds good? So we're emphasizing the fact that we want to get away from the wall. Hold on, let me just wipe my glasses. Yeah. Is it a dot? It will not go away. There it is. Okay. Yeah. No bridges, no walls. There we go. Genius separator. Okay. So the emphasis now goes up and then away from the wall. And to allow sloping. Oh. See, if you go up along the wall, you won't come far, but if you keep your feet grounded, you will see the light. I am hungry, my words get weird. It's okay, I'm tired, my words also get weird. Nice. No, this is such a weird way to say it. Whatever. I'm just like words right now. I'm just throwing words around. I'll probably sleep soonish. Actually, I'm feeling rather tired. Yeah, we'll do the editing later. The important thing is that we get the content down and we focus on the presentation. Yeah, enjoy the food there, later. Yeah, whew. Because I've been staying up, I've been like very consistent with my sleep. Oh, maybe I should have been more consistent and slept earlier. I wonder if I should get up in the morning and do this. Would there be more input? Because there'd be more Western players awake, right? Actually, that might be the play to make. What do you guys think? Does that sound good? I think it might be a good idea. Look like this. What are we gonna use? Black. Draw it like a vector. Hold on. Oh well, I'm sure I can see it and Boy can see it. Something is that I can throw into the trash and make bad jokes about. Right, since it's FS is way harder than trimming editing the was latest take time. That's fair enough, yeah. Keep it like this. Now we're seeing more. Between floors. Actually, is this... No, we want to like go the other way, don't we? Because we're talking about going away from the wall, up and away. Whoosh. And now we're going to brush this. There we go. That's the idea, right? This is the wind direction we're moving in. Now I can see that. Now I can see a connection. Change between the floors. Now it's how we cheat this. Cheapest. The answer lies in using vertical links. This is the shape we're looking for. What the? Oops. I'll get this a little bit done and then I'll... The rafters. Notice how triggering adds causes fall. So on top of the other yellows. Top of the yellows. Instead of doing this way. That the reds are higher up, which means accessible area around area below them. Access she said would be accessible with area below them was blocked. Say blocked by blocked. Like if we were building stairs. Okay, I think I'll leave it there. Now we just need to implement. Now we need to implement this idea. Time. Stairs. To do this, we can 2 ways. Okay, and this is where I'm going to diverge into 2 ways of thinking about this process, right? One way is, well, these are my 2 explanations, so this is where we're up to now. Wow, I really only just did like an intro portion. This is gonna take a little while. This one's got a lot of like stuff going on. Yeah, I guess the theory really is like does have to write itself. I do have to introduce everything properly. I was like, this tutorial seems kind of short in planning compared to the others, but like, I guess things fill out by themselves. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with this so far, and we got some other discussions sorted. So I'm going to head to bed now because I don't want to wreck my sleep schedule. I'm actually very happy with it right now, so I'm going to keep it intact. But it'll give us the advantage of like hopefully tomorrow morning getting some input from others, which would be wonderful. So I'm going to do my best and like get up early-ish so that we can have these discussions with the Western community, because this is mainly for us, right? Like English-speaking players. So if I can get more like, and probably more variety in people as well. Like if I get some lower level players coming in and asking questions and stuff, especially, like that's the key. But I guess we'll just see what happens, right? Anyway, thank you all for hanging out for now. It was probably a bit short of a stream than usual, but like I did start late, so that's that. I'll probably do a bit more tomorrow as well. I did say I wanted to play Cryptid Necromancer and Unite and stuff, so I might play that after we get done with this stuff. But I'll see you guys then for that. For now though, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being awesome. Thanks for supporting the Puyo community and stuff. We're going to do great. Yeah, for now, as always, I hope you all have a great rest of the day or night. Love you guys, and see you all next time. Good night.